Good morning, Coach. I just want you to address, I guess, what these challenges are that you're facing in an NFL with COVID-19, and sort of what's the biggest hurdle and what is the message that you send to your players?
Uh, there's a lot there, Omar. Well, it's good to see all you guys, first and foremost. To answer your question, there's obviously a lot. With COVID, uh, I think we try to create an environment where that is as safe as possible. That's something we've talked to the players about. I think our medical staff, headed by Kyle Johnston, our head trainer, um, I think they've done a really good job of, you know, changing the locker room, changing the protocols, the locker room, the training room, the weight room, and making this place as safe as possible. I think they've done a great job from that standpoint. My message to the players has been about really making good decisions, being responsible. I think they're going to have to make some sacrifices, outside of the building and inside of the building. I think if we can do that, then look, we've done everything we can possibly do to try to limit the spread of this virus. There are some challenges, but I think we're trying to meet them head on and do the best we can with them.
Brian, it's good to see you again. Question about what you saw unfold this past weekend with the Miami Marlins. Obviously, you share a market with them. It's unclear exactly how that spread happened, but it seems like a lot of people are taking that as a cautionary tale. What was your reaction when you saw what happened to the Marlins, and what, if anything, so far have you learned from what's going on there?
Well, I think it's unfortunate, and our thoughts are with those who were infected with coronavirus. I think it just speaks to how quickly the virus can spread. And if you're not wearing a mask and distancing and taking the precautions, it can spread quickly. I think that was evident with the Marlins. And I think it's just an opportunity for us all to learn and see it actually happen. If we have to learn from that situation, and take the mask wearing seriously and the distancing seriously. If you have symptoms and you need to report them. So I think it's an example of how quickly it can spread and the things and how important taking the precautions are.
Flo, when people talk about, I guess, the need for more diverse hiring practices, you and Chris are often the face of that. I wanted to ask you how important you think that is for maybe other organizations to follow, given the current state of America in regards to social justice.
I mean, I've said this, time and time again. I think there's, very capable minority coaches throughout the league on our staff. And if given the opportunity, I think they perform and do well. That's kind of my thought on that. And hopefully we take the steps where people, more minorities get those opportunities, and I think they'd be able to take advantage.
Hey, Flo. Good morning. It's good to see you. Regarding the quarterback situation, is training camp an open competition? Or is Ryan Patrick first team unless or until he is beaten out?
Well, Joe, I think you always want competition in training camp. So there's always, it's every position is an open competition. Obviously, some players are further ahead than others. I think we all kind of know and understand that. But yes, we want competition, and there's no jobs that are just going to be handed out.
Hey Flo, how's it going? I had a question in regards to the Marlins situation. We've seen one case turn into 4, then 12, then 17, I believe, in a matter of days. How many negative tests would it take for you guys to decide that, hey, we might be at a competitive disadvantage, but we're sending everybody home for X amount of days, going virtual, in hopes of stopping a potential spread at a low number versus staying in the building, continue in operations with the potential case that a case here or there could turn into more?
Our message has been more along the lines of, let's try to do everything possible so that, that situation doesn't happen. Let's wear the mask. Let's distance. Let's test. We're testing on a daily basis. That's kind of where our thought process has been. Yes, have we had those conversations about, what it would take, or what if, a catastrophe happened? Yes, we've had those, and there's an action plan for that. I'm not going to get into that, but our most of our energy has been towards doing the things necessary to prevent that situation, and that's the message I've tried to give to the team and really everyone in the organization: players, coaches, equipment, training staff, and I think the leadership within the organization. Myself, Chris, Brandon, Kyle Johnston, Dave Poloka, the rest of the coaching staff, they're all sending that exact same message.
Hi, Brian. Nice to see you. What are the biggest changes in the facility as far as what you're doing where because of the virus situation?
There's been a lot of changes at the facility. We created a new locker room. We've got plexiglass between every locker. Obviously masks and distancing and hand sanitizers everywhere. It's a lot of what you've heard. Obviously, there's guidelines and protocols, and the emergency response plan we had to put in place. But I would say that to me, it's the locker room that's the biggest adjustment. Having to move guys into a different space. But we're going to do what we have to do. Made changes to the weight room as well, and had to basically create a new weight room. So look, there's adjustments we've had to make. We made them. So far, it's we haven't had any issues, and hopefully we can continue on the road we're going.
I did want to clarify. Tua did not begin the year on the PUP, so is he fully ready to go and able to practice without limitations?
Yeah, he's not on PUP. Obviously, as you guys know, there's an acclimation period here for the next, let's just call it 2 weeks. So there's strength and conditioning and some walkthroughs. So there won't be, much strenuous activity. I shouldn't say there won't be strenuous activity. There will be from a strength and conditioning standpoint, but from a football practice, drills, that standpoint, there won't be much. But yeah, he's through the physical, and when we do get to practice, you'll see him out there. Omar, you're not showing your face today? You haven't.
I'm wondering, what is your biggest challenge? Is it keeping your team healthy amid the virus, keeping them sort of bubbled even though you don't have a bubble? Or is it making your team good in 2020?
I think it's a combination of both. I think you always want your team to be healthy, whether it's right now, it's what everyone's talking about. But, when we get into practice, it'll be, soft tissue injuries or, shoulders or knees or, things of that nature. So there's nothing more important than the health of the team. And that's going to be, at the forefront this year, especially. But at the same time, yeah, we're working towards trying to improve on the field as well. So that's fundamentals, that's technique, that's conditioning, So there's a lot to try to improve upon. So yeah, we need to keep them healthy in order so that we can go out on the field and improve. They kind of go hand in hand in a lot of ways. And look, these are very, very let's call it unprecedented circumstances. But I think we need to make the best of the situation, and that's been the message to the team. There's no real point in dwelling on the lack of games or practice. We just have to make the most of every opportunity we get to go out there. And the healthy guys will practice, and the guys who aren't won't. And those practice reps are going to be very important this season.
Hi, Brian. Good to talk to you. Two things I'd like to ask you real quick here. One is an update on X. Obviously, he's just gone on the PUP list, and I'm wondering what your level of optimism might be that we'll see him on the field either in training camp or for the regular season opener. And the second thing I wanted to ask you is if any of your players have opted out.
Well, X is on PUP. He's been rehabbing really the entire summer. He's making a lot of progress. He'll be back as soon as he can. I can't put a timetable on it. I don't know. I know he's working. I know he's making some progress, but I'm not going to put a timetable on when he'll be back. But we're going to try to get him out there as soon as we can. As of 10 minutes ago when I walked into this meeting, no one has opted out, and I know we've had guys opt out throughout the league, and those are tough decisions to make. And fortunately, we haven't had anyone opt out thus far. So, but there's still obviously some time for that.